Welcome to another episode of Connected Dots. I am your host, Lou Icewater. You know what I'm saying? AKA Duquan Hicks. And as you can hear, my allergies is back. This is what I sound like when the allergies is crazy. You know what I mean? I got my Beanie Siegel voice on. So bear with me, America. And let's do what we do. Let's do what we do best. All right? So first, I want to talk about, and before I talk about this, I want to talk about using paper. Paper. That's right. When you get older, America, you use paper because paper will always help you out in need. Okay? So I want to first talk about, before I even get started on that, let's give prayers for the people in Texas, Mexico, and the Carolinas for the flooding that's going on. It's been catastrophic flooding, and I'm praying for the families out there, hoping that they get help that's needed, and also praying for the families who lost children in Texas. That was very horrific, and I hope that y'all can understand that things happen in life, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But my condolences to the families out there, and I hope that everything is well with you. Okay. So I want to talk about the depletion of Social Security, how it affects us and the next generations. So first, you want to raise the age limit to retire to 67. Now you're thinking about raising it again because you really don't want nobody to get this money. That's basically what it is. And the money that you have, because people say, why we don't have any money? The money keeps getting spent to help out Israel. And like I said, there's a good Israel and there's a bad Israel. Just keep that in mind. The money is also going to the military, which is crazy. It seems like every year the money is going to military and not the people that make up this country. And I keep saying it again. If you don't help the people will not help you. They will not, I repeat, they will not help you. You can stick your chest out and put our country in front. But if you're not helping, they're not going to help you. They'll turn their backs on you in a minute. And this is why this is something that we have to talk about because this affects our children because they might not even have Social Security. So just imagine you worked all these years, you retire, and you have Social Security. I will be mad. And just think, these young guys, these young kids they're worse. They will take some things out. So they need to fix this problem. And then look at the retirees that work 30 and 40 years and they're getting their money slashed because they fear that it won't be in Social Security in the next 8 years. Whose fault is that? That's America's fault. That's the government's fault because all this, unnecessary spending on military is very unnecessary. And now you want to tax people again, but yet everybody else gets to do what they want to do. It's sad. It's sad. Whoever made this bill right and signed off on this, they need to be smacked. They need to be smacked, really. They need, and I wish they really need to be smacked because this is crazy. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? You don't do this to the American people or any type of people and think it's cool when it's not. People work hard for what they believe in and work hard to save pennies and work hard to retire. And now you want to slash what I'm supposed to get. So how does that work? How does that work, America? Because to me, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Sounds like I see a choking happening right now. Just think, right now, I see a choking happening, are choking. You know what I mean? And not the ones when you're eating food. I'm talking about hand choking. Because when you play with people's money, when you play with people's money, you don't know how people are going to react. So keep that in mind. When you play with people's money, you don't know how people are going to react. Keep that in mind, America. Remember that. So I also want to talk about what's going on with the Postal Service. It seems like every single year, it's getting worse. Packages not being delivered, packages going to the wrong place. It doesn't make sense. And then you want to have the nerve to up the rate on sending packages to different places, but yet it can't get there when you say it's going to get there. Why does a package that's supposed to go to Atlanta have to go to Jersey and then back down? What's up with the geographical things that the Post Service is doing? I remember back in the day, being a mailman or a mailwoman was, an honorable job. Everybody used to love to wear the uniform. Now, you don't see nobody wearing the uniform. Even if you're going in the Postal Service to work, people got on regular street clothes. What happened to the uniform? The uniform meant something. The Postal Service uniform meant something. Now, it means nothing. Even when you have people coming to deliver the mail, it's like they're independent contractors that do it. They come, they got their music blasting out loud. Doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense, yo. So we need to get back to, having faith, having pride in what we do. I think the pride is gone. So that's why everything else is gone. It's crazy, right? Crazy. Talk about this music alert, yo. Y'all didn't know that Public Enemy had a new album out or a new mixtape out. And I kind of like it. Flavor Flav is rhyming a lot on most of the songs. And he stepped his game up lyrically. You can hear it. But I think it's a good listen. Also, another good listen, the You God album. Yo, if you want to hear classic Wu-Tang type-ish beats, you listen to the You God album. You know what I'm saying? For real, it's the kid with the golden arm, I believe. It's kind of dope. Or the return of the kid with the golden arm. The joint is bananas. It has that Wu-Tang feel to it. And You God don't disappoint you, yo. It's bananas. Also, the Inspector Deck album is coming as well. And Raekwon. So the Wu basically is dropping their whole camp. It seems like week by week. So that's going to be dope. So I hope y'all had a good 4th of July like I did. I had a good birthday as well. So it was mad cool, Hot as hell, but still cool. Yo, New York is just like America. And people say, what do you mean, Lou? Let me break it down to you. What is the most hated city in America? My city, New York. What is the most hated country in the world? United States. We have something in common. People can't stand us in general. So just think about that for a minute. When you go out of the country and they be like, we don't like Americans, that's how New York feel when we go to different states. Can't stand them New Yorkers. So that's what we go through every day of our lives. And I always ask myself, why you don't like New Yorkers? Because we're boastful, we're stylish, we hustlers, we know how to do things differently than everybody else. It's got to be something behind it. Because there was a time when everybody loved New Yorkers. They love the accent. They love how we dress, how we walk and talk. Now we're the most hated. So in the comments, I want y'all to put down Why do you think people hate New York? And I also want you to put down in the comments, why do you think people hate America? Because really it works hand in hand. It does. The music, excuse me, the movie industry. Have you noticed the movies have not been the same since COVID? It has not been the same since COVID. I've been to the movies a few times, but it still doesn't feel the same. Something feels off. Something feels different. It's like you'd rather watch a new movie on Netflix or Prime Video than go to the movies. But me, I'm a movie guy, so I like to go to the movies because it's a feel good place. It gives me time to think. Plus, I like to drive to the movies. So, driving there, going to the movies, enjoying myself, and leaving. But the thing is, movies are not great anymore. They're trying so hard. You know what I mean? The last good movie I went to go see, I have to admit, was Sinners. Sinners was a good movie. Very good. And I'm just saying, like, what can we do to get the movie industry back on track? Because right now, it's not the same. If you have been to the movies lately, you can feel the difference. You can feel the vibe. The energy is different. The energy is not the same anymore. And it's like a sad type feeling when you go to the movies. I don't know why, but it just feels not, it doesn't feel the same to me. It feels like things are diminished, like things are not the way they need to be. You know, it's really a sad type of thing. So I want to talk about something and I want you to elaborate on this. Why do we spend more money on our children's proms than our children's graduations? Why? I want to know because it seems like we will ball out to make sure your daughter or your son looks the best he can be for the prom, you know, buying all these and then get a rent a car or rent a limo, whatever. But why you're not renting limos for a graduation? A graduation is more of a step up in life. It's another chapter. A prom is just a high price date to me. The prom is a high price memory date. You're gonna remember it because it's your prom. But it's a date. A prom is more like a date with someone who is superficial. That's how I look at it. I might not look at it differently, but that's how I look at it. A prom is a superficial date with music and you're with your friends. Graduation, you're with your friends. You come in, you have to do these things, but I don't understand why when people graduate, the day of graduation, why not rent a limo? After you take your pictures, y'all all leave in the limo as a family and enjoy yourselves. Graduation, more money should be spent on graduation than your prom. Prom could just be a regular suit and tie, corsage dress, going in your mother's car, whatever, and having a good time. Graduation is a memory that you will always have forever because it's a new journey in life. You accomplish something. The prom, you haven't accomplished anything. You're just looking good to have a good time. But graduation, you're having a good time and you accomplished a goal. And now you're off to the next journey in life. Something to think about. So, what do you think, America? I want your opinion on why do we go all out for our proms, but we don't go all out for our kids' graduation? Something to think about. I really had to think about it. I was like, wow, a lot of cats go out for the proms, but they don't go all out for graduation. And the reason why I'm also saying this is because I went to my daughter's graduation last year. It felt like a cookout more than graduation. The parents were dressed like they was getting ready to drink some gin and juice, then get up and clap for their child. It was crazy. I was going to tell the guy next to me to pass me a piece of ribs because they were there chilling. Like, it was crazy. I'm not used to that. I'm used to graduations being respectful. You're dressed with shoes and you're acknowledging your child's accomplishment of graduation, not going to a cookout in a building. And that's what it felt like. That's why I said, for me, we will spend a lot of money on the prom, more than you would spend money on graduation, which to me, I think that should be the Super Bowl. The prom is more like the playoffs. You made it to the playoffs. If somebody asks you to go, you made it to the playoffs. Graduation is the Super Bowl. That's how I look at it. Graduation, Super Bowl, prom, playoffs. So tell me what you think, America. Like I said, I'm kicking knowledge. This is what I do on this show, connect the dots. Also, I want to thank the subscribers for subscribing to the channel. You know what I'm saying? It seems like every week I'm getting new subscribers. And somebody said, why I don't go on YouTube? Because YouTube is for the kids for me. I'm not trying to, dog nobody out, but some things I gotta keep grown and some things I gotta keep it for the kids. And remember when YouTube first came out, it was for the kids. So that's why you don't see me on YouTube. I believe that my YouTube followers, because everybody looks at YouTube, I think they will grow as I'm growing. So remember, season 2 is going to start in September. Okay. So if you missed any of my episodes, all you have to do is scroll down on my page, connect the dots page, all the way back to the beginning. I talked about a lot of different things. So you can always go chime in, get subscribe. I had DJs on the show doing live stuff. And shout out to the DJs that do the hip hop barbershop and the connected dots, the J Fergs, the DJ Shakems, the DJ Silver D, DJ C Styles. You know what I'm saying? Rad and Quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm shouting y'all out, man, because, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We're one big family. We're like Voltron. You know what I'm saying? Connected dots, LHJR, Hip Hop Barbershop, Push Mud. You know what I'm saying? We all one entity, yo. So like I said before, it's another episode of Connected Dots. I'm your host, Lou Icewater. You know what I'm saying? AKA Duquan Hicks. And like I said, the allergies is messing with me, so I'm talking low. I'm not trying to talk sexy. I'm just talking low. So like I said before, one life, one love, one Lou. Peace.